it is my pleasure to invite Lakeridge Health Board Chair Valentine Lovkin to the podium.
Good evening, everyone. I'm really so glad to see so many of you here today. And my name is Valentine Lovkin, as Susan just announced. It is really actually my name. My mother and father decided to give me that name when I was born. And I'm the chair of Lakeridge Health for the evening. I'll be your MC as well. And it's a great day when I can change the subject about my first name and talk about the great things happening at Lakeridge Health. And it's even better to have so many special guests with us today. Building on last year's event in Port Perry, we're glad this year to be able to combine this AGM with a community reception. And I would really like to take a moment to thank our friends at the Ajax Pickering Hospital Foundation for so generously supporting the costs associated with this event, and also the community members and local businesses whose partnership with the foundation and support made the catering and this tent and everything else that you're enjoying this evening possible. And there are so many dignitaries with us tonight. I would like to mention a few of them, but I've just spent 9 years as a board trustee, and before I recognize special guests, I'd like to ask my fellow board members to stand up and be recognized tonight. Come on, stand up, please. I'm also pleased to have with us 4 special guests. I'm going to ask them to stand and hold your applause before I get all 4 names read out, please, but please stand in turn. We have 2 members of the Provincial Parliament-elect, Peter Bethenfeldy, MPP-elect for Pickering-Uxbridge, Peter, and Rod Phillips, MPP-elect for Ajax Pickering, and Ajax Councillor Joanne Diaz, and also we have Oshawa Councillor Rick Kerr. I would also like to recognize members of the Patient and Family Experience Advisory Council. Would you please stand, members of the council? Don't be shy now. Thank you very much. And we also have members of our foundation's board of directors. Would you stand, please? You know, everybody gets a chance to stand up at some point during the course of the event. We also have many members of our volunteer associations and auxiliaries with us tonight, and they're allowed to stay in their seats because it would be the rest of the room, in fact. We've received a very kind letter of greeting from Mayor Don Mitchell of Whitby, who could not be with us here tonight, but is with us in spirit. And now we respectfully acknowledge that we're gathered on the land and territory, traditional territory, of the Mississaugas of Scugog Island First Nation, a branch of the Greater Anishinaabeg Nation that includes Ojibwe, Odawa, and Potawatomi. We gather with gratitude, and we say miigwech and thanks to the Mississaugas and other Aboriginal peoples for caring for this land from time immemorial and for sharing this land covered under Treaty 20 with those of us who are newcomers. Out of gratitude, we are called to treat the land, its plants, animals, stories, and its people with honor and respect. Today is National Indigenous Peoples Day, a celebration of Indigenous peoples' culture and heritage. And we're honored to have with us Kathy McLeod Beaver. Kathy is the Aboriginal navigator with the Central East Regional Cancer Program and the Durham Regional Cancer Center. And she's here to lead us in the traditional cleansing ceremony known as a smudging ceremony. So Kathy, would you come forward, please?
Bonjour, Samakwe Indishnikas, Makwa Dodem, Alderville First Nation Dunjaba. My spirit name is Tobacco Woman. I have a little bit of fun with my spirit name too, because working in the Cancer Center, Tobacco Woman working in the Cancer Center. But tobacco in our culture isn't the commercial tobacco that you see in the stores. It's a sacred tobacco that grows naturally out there, and it's green. And that's that medicine that goes first. But today I'm going to use sweetgrass, which represents Mother Earth's hair. And you'll notice that it's braided, symbolizing mind, body, and spirit all becoming one. So I'm honored, and I want to give thanks for inviting me to come and do this ceremony. I love this medicine. The medicine, they say when we pick it, it gives its life so that we could have life. And when we do this ceremony, when we conduct this ceremony and we burn this medicine, it'll take care of those things that you need to, things that you pick up that you need to let go of. And sometimes we'll burn it at the beginning of a meeting such as this to bring us together in a good way, and that we leave those things that don't belong to us aside for now. And this will help us clear our minds, bring peace and calmness to our day. So it's a great ceremony, and I'm happy to share it. Miigwech. Thank you. So I'm going to light this medicine, and I'm using sweetgrass because sage is another medicine we would use, or sama, which is the tobacco, or cedar. All of those 4 sacred medicines, we might use a combination, but today I'm using sweetgrass. It's immense medicine, they say, and it doesn't send off a lot of smoke, so I just thought in the interest of those who might have trouble with smoke that I would burn this instead. But as I'm burning this, you can think about those things that you need help with, and it'll take care of that. Okay. So I'm going to take the medicine around inside, and then I'm going to come around this way, and then we'll be done. Okay? So normally we would smudge when we're smudging. We smudge, we see good things, that we hear good things, that we feel good things. And we take that smoke and we would take the medicine, the smoke and the medicine, give it back to our mother, the earth who looks after everything. She takes everything from us. So that's normally what a smudge ceremony would do. But because there's such a lot of people here, we're just going to go around, but it'll still be important.
Kathy, thank you very much. When you were performing the smudging, I was thinking to myself that there are 4 great elements. The elements are earth, they're smoke, fire, water, and air. And all the major religions touch upon these 4 basic elements. And I think that's because we speak with one truth, although we may do it with different voices and in different languages. But you've touched upon the common desire of all of us, that our hearts be answered by a higher power. I thank you for being present today, and on behalf of the hospital, I'd just like to present you with a small gift. Well, I'm truly pleased to be here as we reflect on our exciting accomplishments in 2017 and 18. I'd like to acknowledge the leadership of the Lakeridge Health Board of Trustees and their guidance over the past year. I would also like to recognize the efforts of President and CEO Matthew Anderson, the senior management team, and the entire Lakeridge Health team for all that has been accomplished. This has been a transformative year for everyone in the Lakeridge Health community. It was a year in which we further embraced our role as the provider of acute care for Durham Region, evolving the local system that includes 5 hospitals, a residential treatment center, and more than a dozen community locations to better meet the needs of the people that we serve. And it was a year in which we reimagined and reshaped models of care to provide consistent standards of quality care for all. In 2017 and 18, we demonstrated our strength and resilience as a regional system of acute care while facing a number of challenges, including the temporary closure of the Port Perry Hospital following a fire, growing numbers of people in hospital waiting for long-term care or other placement in the community, and an unprecedented year-long volumes that peaked over the holiday season. We continued to deliver exceptional care to North Durham residents and made use of this opportunity to make safety upgrades and patient experience enhancements at the Port Perry Hospital. This means that when the hospital reopens on September the 5th, 2018, it will be a safer and more patient-friendly hospital. In an effort to be more responsive to the health care needs of seniors and vulnerable patients, Lakeridge Health teams created new strategies that ensure patients are well supported at discharge, preventing readmission and ensuring safe and timely transitions. New models of care were also introduced to help improve access to care and outcomes for the people that we serve. The opening of the Mental Health Emergency Services Unit, for those of you that are familiar with Lakeridge, you will know we love acronyms. It's the MHESU to the insiders, but it's Mental Health Emergency for the rest of us. At the Oshawa Hospital has enhanced the care experience for people with mental health conditions. Located next to the emergency department, it provides a quiet and calm area for those in crisis, and it's where they can receive specialized care by trained mental health care nurses, crisis workers, and psychiatrists. All of these initiatives supported improved quality of care delivery and enhance the patient and family experience across our hospitals. Formal, more responsive patient and family feedback policy and procedures were introduced across our system. Standard visiting hours were eliminated to better engage families and friends in the care process. Real-time surveys are now available in the emergency department, the mother and baby unit, day surgery, and medicine programs, giving patients and families the opportunity to provide instant feedback about their experience. These patient-focused enhancements are just a few of the ways that we're making the local health system more responsive to the needs of our communities. It is the support of our communities that helps make local healthcare innovation possible. Your support helps us to provide care closer to home. No one can tell our story better than the patients and families we serve. I would like to introduce someone who knows Ajax Pickering Hospital inside and out. Perhaps a little bit better than she would like. Please join me in welcoming a person whose bravery, kindness, and dedication to others is truly inspiring. Shireen Spencer.
Wow, that's quite the introduction. Thanks. Yes, so I was asked to share a little bit of my story in 2 to 3 minutes. So if I speak too fast, you can come and talk to me afterwards. I have spent a lot of time at Ajax Pickering Hospital and Oshawa Lakeridge Hospital in the last 3 years, going through quite the journey I never thought that I would be going through. But why did I become a patient and family experience? Oh, for us shorter people. Why did I become a patient and family experience advisor? Because of the patient care that I received. A year ago, if you had asked me if I would be doing this, I would have had no clue that this was something that would be in my future. But I did spend 3 years in and out of this building in various different wards and floors, and emerge especially, and in contact with a lot of doctors in and out of here. And I spent a good year going through my cancer treatment at Oshawa. And I can tell you that the experience was good and bad, right? No experience can be perfect. But this is why I decided to become a patient and family experience advisor, because the negative experiences become good when you know somebody's listening to you and that they want to work on it. They no longer are negative experiences, but they are learning experiences. And the good experiences become even better because you know that you have really good care. And so I chose to do this because I want to give back. My care was good. My journey was not, but my care was good. And I want to be able to help the mission of the hospital and patients, and that is to be able to work together to give the best care that patients need. And you know, any one of us sitting in here can be a patient at any one time. Any one of us sitting in here can have a family member that's a patient at any given time. And so to be able to go through the experience and then be able to give back, to be able to go through the experience and say, how can I make this better for the next person coming along, is extremely important to me. I do this to help my future experience, but also the future experience of family and strangers that will become family. I spent yesterday doing those real-time surveys in the maternity ward and upstairs on the 4th floor, and that's exactly what people said that were talking about the good things that were happening in this hospital. And they said, and even you just coming around to ask us how it was, this makes this place amazing. So you know that you're doing something good when you join the two forces of the medical system and those that have to be recipients of the medical system. I decided that this was a good thing to do because it helped me turn my stress into success. I know where I've been, and I know where I've come from, and I can help others know you can make it, and I can help others know that there are people behind them that are there to support them. I used to think of my hair as a sign of beauty. I had long, long hair and lost it all. But now I look at my hair as a sign of life. And when I think of what I'm doing, I look at that as a sign of life. I think, you know what? The tornado came and went, and now I'm cleaning up the destruction. But part of cleaning up the destruction is being able to give back and turn that destruction into something positive. And so I live life now. I'm able to say, I never knew I would be here, but since I was here, I can now do something with that. And every day that I'm able to volunteer as a patient and family experience advisor, I feel like I'm living. I feel like I've turned things around and that there was a reason that I went through what I went through. And now it's being able to come through and help other people know there's a reason. And even when you can't figure out what that reason is, you can give back. And knowing that you as doctors and nurses and all different kinds of staff work with us as patients because our roads pass for a reason, it helps to make it really that this is a community thing. And really, this is a family thing. And really, this is the reason the hospital exists, to make people sick, no, please. You do not exist to make us sick, excuse me, but to make people healthy in every way, body, spirit, mind, emotions, relationships, And that's why I do what it is that I do. So thank you for that privilege. Thank you for allowing me to turn what I went through into something good. And most of all, thank you for good, excellent care that can only get better. Thank you very much.
I think we've just embarrassed her enough, but just to make sure that we do a good job, I just wanted to say thank you very much for the comments that you've made. It's a very difficult thing to talk about your journey, but I want to share with everybody that when I met Shireen just half an hour or an hour ago, the first thing that struck me was her smile. And I saw that before I saw anything else. I didn't see the length of her hair. I didn't see that she would have to adjust the microphone. I just saw this 10,000-watt smile. And I also would like to say as a special message to the trustees, and we had a board meeting before this AGM began, I was saying to them that it isn't the least you can do, it's the most you can do to pay it forward. And I think that we have a living example of someone who already lives by that lesson, and it's an example for all of us at the board to follow. Thank you very much. At this time, I'd like to introduce Lakeridge Health President and CEO Matthew Anderson to share with you his plans for our year ahead. Thank you, Matt.
I'm with you, Shireen, okay? Valentine left it up there on purpose. Thank you, Valentine. Thank you, everyone, for coming. What a wonderful, wonderful turnout. And a special thank you to Valentine. This is his last AGM as our board chair and on our board. I've been thrilled to work with Valentine. Valentine hired me, so later you can pass judgment on Valentine on what he did. But he's truly been a remarkable influence on me and a remarkable influence on our organization and on our community. An annual general meeting is an opportunity to reflect and appreciate the tremendous amount of work that has been undertaken in 1718. And I would be remiss if I didn't start by asking our friends who are on our community advisory panels to please stand for a moment. I saw Tom here. There we go. Yes, that's great, Joyce. Thank you. Judeline, thank you very much. These folks, thank you, folks. Maybe let's do a little clap. These folks are more volunteers, and these are volunteers who come and spend time with us, and we do inundate them with all the acronyms that Valentine alluded to, and give us advice at a governance level on how we move forward. And as I talk about the things that we've achieved, I hope that they see a special spot for themselves because of their contributions and what we've been able to do. And we have made a lot of progress. There's still much, much more for us to do. We know our healthcare system is changing, and we know that our environment is changing, and we must change with it. So we have more things to do, but we're very, very proud of where we've come from. We have 3 priorities in the year ahead: engaging patients in our team, clinical quality improvement, and transformation. Dr. Tony Stone is going to speak after me, and he's going to talk about the first 2 priorities, so I'll focus on the transformation agenda. This year, we will implement our inclusion, diversity, and engagement framework. This is very important for us that we ensure that our organization reflects the communities that we serve in order to increase health equity and reduce disparities. We will complete our master program and plan. The boards around the room are part of our engagement process related to that. This will give us a 25-year roadmap for how we will deliver acute care services and facility development all across our region. We engaged our communities through more than 5,000 different touch points to receive some valuable feedback that will help inform our planning as we move forward. Thank you for your input. As you heard, with great joy, we will reopen the Port Perry Hospital on September the 5th, 2018. Port Perry Hospital is critical to our system, and we cannot wait to celebrate this milestone with the entire North Durham community. We will also open a 22-bed mental health inpatient unit here at the Ajax Pickering Hospital and update the emergency department to provide a better care environment for people living with mental illness conditions. More than 1,000 people seek care and treatment for a mental illness or addictions here at the Ajax Pickering Hospital Emergency Department each year. Restoring these services at Ajax Pickering Hospital means more patients and families will receive care closer to home. In Oshawa, we will finish construction of a regional pharmacy, serving not only patients in the Oshawa Hospital, but also at our world-class R.S. McLaughlin Durham Regional Cancer Center. Detailed design and planning for the redevelopment and expansion of the Bowmanville Hospital is also underway this year. Plans that will modernize and refresh that facility and will double its size. Later this year, we will break ground on the construction of the new North Pickering Health and Wellness Center, a new ambulatory care center planned for one of our region's fastest growing communities. And at Whitby Hospital, we recently opened our new kidney disease clinic, which will provide the first treatment shown to slow the progression of polycystic kidney disease. This is the first time there's a treatment option available for people suffering from this illness in Durham region and beyond. We are looking ahead. We are working on exciting transformational initiatives that will position our organization more strongly for the future, create modern facilities to improve access to services that our residents need most, and drive clinical, policy, and process standards all across our region. We could not speak about the accomplishments of the Lakeridge Health team without also acknowledging the amazing contribution of my new 1,200 best friends, our hospital volunteers. I have had the pleasure of meeting with many of them. A few of my favorites are sitting right in my front, in the first couple of rows here, who make such a difference in the lives of our families and our patients. It's your kindness, it's your compassion that makes that difference, and your dedication to everybody who comes through our doors. This is the 5th year in a row that our volunteers have logged more than 140,194 volunteer hours. Absolutely. Thank you for your time, your support, and your energy. We could not do what we do without you. We simply couldn't do it. It's an exciting time at Lakeridge Health, and I thank patients, families, the community, our volunteer board, our auxiliaries, our volunteer associations, our community partners, our foundations, and our entire Lakeridge Health team for their unwavering commitment to delivering excellent care to the people of Durham region. Before I turn the floor over to Dr. Tony Stone, who I will remind that I stuck to script and we are on a quite tight timeline, Dr. Stone, we will share our plans for improving patient and team engagement and driving clinical quality improvement. For those of you, Dr. Stone is very passionate, and so we just have to remind him from time to time that we stick to our script and respect our timelines. Too late now. I know, it's too late. Before Tony comes up, we do have another patient story to share with you. This is our patient, Mary Lockie. Mary has generously shared her patient care journey with us. She's an inspiration. If you can please turn your attention to the screens and see Mary's story.
I have been a diabetic over 20 years, and then I started to run into more health problems. I thought I was feeling great, till I got in the bathtub.
My mom and I had plans. I was taking her to get her hair done. So I was picking her up after work. So when I left to go to her place after work, that's when I found her in the bathtub.
I thought my balance was good, but that day I was not watching enough and I just flaked right out. And I don't know how long I was out.
I was at work. Carol called me, told me that she was taking her mom by ambulance to the hospital. I got to emerge, found her there. They told us that her blood sugar was around 80. Normal blood sugar is between 4 and 6.
I don't know, it was so scary. At the time, I didn't even think she was gonna live when she got there.
They were told that I was only gonna have 2 to 5 days to live. I've lost a limb, Then a year and a half later, I lost the other one. And that is hard to take, but I accepted it right away because you don't have any other choice.
She came to us in a very compromised state. She was unable to be out of bed, she was confused, and in a lot of pain. Initially, I have to say the ice-breaking activity for Mary was doing her nails. It also made her feel good as a person. It gave her a little more confidence to want to be able to come out into the public again.
Eventually, she started feeling better, eating more, getting better, getting to know Elizabeth and Lori more. Then she started to come out of her shell a bit more.
She'd come up to my room every day and she'd, well, you coming today? I don't know. Well, you should, it's fun. And she never took no. I came every single day and I got to learn everything and I liked it.
Before, she was just kind of stuck in bed, and now she's able to get up and sit in her chair longer.
I think with Lakeridge Health having several sites, it certainly provides the care in the community that people they're looking for. You want to have expertise, but traveling, it does take a lot out of people. Our team here on CCC really tries to involve the families. Decision making is huge, and in Mary's complicated case, families, they had to be available all the time.
Having her here, where she's 15 minutes away from our home, I could come out at lunchtime. Carol could come right after work, and then I could meet her here. It's just so much easier for us.
They're not just involved as family, they are part of the care team as well.
And the staff being so great here, we love coming here. These people go out of the way to make them feel like they're home. They have people they can rely on. They have things to do. That's huge. It's not a clinical place, it's a family place.
She's so much happier. With all the nurses, it's like they're all friends here.
I see the old Mary before she went through all this. I see the happy Mary, the joking around Mary. We have a very good rapport, her and I, and we tease each other constantly. And it's nice to see her belly laugh, where a year ago she could do that.
I'm looking forward to going further, and I hope I have that chance to go further.
Now she's got stuff to look forward to. She knows she can do it. She knows she's got a future ahead of her, and she's going to have more people in her life, more interactions. I'm looking forward to moving on with her.
Thanks, Matt. So I will go off script, but hopefully only a little. You know, I've been a resident here in Durham, across Durham, for 48 years now, and in many of our communities. So I really see myself as a citizen of the region. And I got to tell you, I was so thrilled and excited about our integration. I feel like we now have a golden opportunity to work together. The folks here in this room, all of you, all of us, all of our volunteers and all of our providers, to really deliver something amazing for our patients and their families. I'll try and get back on script. And Mary was just an amazing story. So Mary receives care in our complex continued care unit in Bowmanville, as you heard. And her story is a fine example of how patients and families across Durham are benefiting from a regional system of care, because Mary got different elements of her care in our different hospital sites. We intend to leverage the strengths of these 5 hospitals working together as we strive to improve the care we provide to our fellow citizens in Durham. Matt has told you about some of the transformation agenda, and Mary shared her personal story of care with us. I have the pleasure of sharing some of the improvements in our patients' experience that we will see in the years ahead, as well as some of the ways that we will engage our patients and our teams. As we continue to grow and evolve as a regional system of care, our priority is to focus relentlessly on quality improvement. I'm going to use a bit of a different language around quality improvement, and as a sneak peek to some other conversations will be coming, because quality improvement is tied up in the patient experience. The Institute of Healthcare Improvement defines patient experience as a quality of care provided, coupled with the satisfaction with that care. Improving the patient experience is the reason we're all here today at this annual general meeting. It's our shared goal. Across our 4 emergency rooms, we provide care to over 200,000 patients a year. We will continue our efforts in improving the patient experience in our ERs. Some of these efforts include new and innovative strategies to reducing wait times in our emergency departments, completing and implementing the recommendation of the patient experience panel, and several other enhancements underway that are focused on ensuring the quality of care we provide and the experience of that care continues to improve as we meet the growing and changing needs of our communities in our region. We'll also implement best practice approaches to support our seniors' experience at Lakeridge. We intend to work harder in the prevention of common geriatric conditions such as falls, delirium, and pressure wounds, which are unfortunately complications that are all too frequent in the hospital. Because we know improvements in these areas will be incredibly impactful to the successful recovery of our seniors from the illnesses which brought them to the hospital in the first place. This year we will focus on additional strategies that ensure we improve our patient transitions within and between our hospitals and back into their communities in order not only to provide the best possible care and treatment for our patients, but to provide that care in the most appropriate setting. We'll continue to focus to improve access to care and services throughout the health system by working with care partners outside of our walls to ensure that people in our community receive the right care in the right place at the right time. This year will also bring an increased focus on our patients with mental health conditions and addictions. And I know that's something that's important to our government, and we're eager to contribute and participate and lead. We'll be implementing new models of care to support people with mental health conditions to positively influence their quality of life. You've already heard that we're reopening 22 mental health beds right here at Ajax Pickering Hospital. And these beds are essential not only to this community, but to our whole region as we improve access to inpatient mental health beds. Lakeridge Health is also the Central East Local Health Integrated Network, or LIN, lead for our regional opioid strategy. You know, folks with opioid dependence and other substance dependence are some of our most vulnerable in our region, and it's so critical that we have a focus on it. So we're leading the implementation of medical assessments and supports through something called Rapid Access Addiction Medicine Clinics, 2 of which are located in Lakeridge facility. There'll be others located across the whole Central East catchment area, including Scarborough and Peterborough. I'll talk just a little bit about engagement as well, in 2 ways. First, direct engagement with patients and their families, because it's another essential step in continuously improving the experience of our patients and their families and the care we provide. We'll involve patients, their families, and caregivers in more improvement and co-design projects. And co-design is really, you know, we're always, as a team, trying to improve the experience of care, the quality, and the satisfaction with that care. And many have learned it, and we are learning the great value in having PFAC and others involved in that conversation, because people bring a unique lens that we as providers don't always see and appreciate. And so I really look forward to that increase in the co-design. We'll also, and you also heard already from Shireen about the real-time feedback, which is a real advance. We, like many hospitals, there's a standardized approach, which is a mail-out of requests for feedback after people leave our hospital. And while it isn't a bad strategy, it doesn't have nearly the impact in terms of the number of people and their ability to contribute in real time when we do this strategy around real-time surveying and engagement. So looking forward to that. And the other element is to increase our engagement with our own team. Our staff, our physicians, all those who are the underpinning of the service we provide. It's been well demonstrated, in fact, that an engaged, happy, satisfied team it isn't just a value unto its own, but it's been demonstrated to improve the care our patients get. So it'll be an additional focus on the engagement side. Folks, we have many ambitious goals to improve the experience of our patients and their families, and the Lakeridge Health team stands ready and eager to accomplish them. However, this would not be possible without the support and contributions of the community, and for that we are infinitely grateful. To recognize a few of those extraordinary contributions, I now welcome Valentine back to the podium.
Thank you, Dr. Stone. We couldn't deliver on these ambitious goals without the commitment and dedication of the Lakeridge Health teams. One particularly fine example of the lasting and profound impact that teams can have on the communities that we serve is Dr. George Blake. Born in Green Island, Jamaica in 1922, Dr. Blake inspired many with his enthusiasm and involvement in various pursuits. He was a Royal Air Force veteran, a Buddhist monk, a photographer, an author, and a PhD psychologist who did early work in behavior therapy. In 1967, he founded the original Pinewood Center, which today is part of the Lakeridge Health system, helping adults, youth, and women work through their challenges with addictions or mental health. What Dr. Blake started more than 50 years ago has grown to include more than 13 community locations from Scarborough across Durham region, offering a range of programs to support people. At Pinewood Centers, teams work with people in a caring environment to develop a personal treatment plan because everyone has their own needs and goals. Treatment plans may include educational and motivational workshops and group sessions that give the tools needed to achieve and maintain a healthy lifestyle. These services and programs offered at the various Pinewood Center locations make a tremendous difference to those who access the services in our community. Sadly, Dr. Blake passed away in January of this year. To honor his work and his contribution to the community, Lakeridge Health is pleased to announce that a tribute to Dr. Blake at the Pinewood Center at 300 Center Street, the original location of the program. While the details have not yet been finalized, we know the memorial will include a portrait of Dr. Blake, painted by his daughter-in-law, along with an accompanying plaque that memorializes his contributions. In addition, in honor of Dr. Blake's contributions and his strong support and advocacy in support of higher education, and in recognition of the United Nations International Decade of People of African Descent from 2015 to 2024, a mentorship program for youth of African Canadian descent will be established in Dr. Blake's honor. This initiative, thank you very much. This initiative will help to support these individuals in pursuing careers in medicine and health sciences, while recognizing the important contribution of the diverse community in the future of Lakeridge Health. We will work with community organizations and our colleagues at Durham's academic institutions over the coming months to design the program with the goal of having it in place in the 2019 academic year. Dr. Blake's family could not be here with us tonight, but they've sent their kind regrets. And this year, we introduce a new tradition, the Local Health Care Hero Award. This new award will recognize individuals or groups of individuals who are dedicated and committed to supporting, promoting, and raising awareness of the unique healthcare needs of the communities served, embrace similarities, celebrate differences, and consider fellow community members with an open mind and a willingness to assist with caring and compassion, and contribute to furthering the healthcare needs of the community in which the AGM is being held. It is my very great pleasure to present our first Local Healthcare Hero Award to Dr. Ramas Stas. Dr. Stas is a distinguished and long-serving physician at Ajax Pickering Hospital and is an active advocate for healthcare within the Ajax and Pickering communities. He has been caring for patients in the community through his family practice and through his work at the Ajax Pickering Hospital for decades. He recently celebrated his 46th year of practice at the hospital. Dr. Stas has held many significant roles during his distinguished career. He has served in numerous leadership roles, including Associate Chief of Staff at Ajax Pickering Hospital, and more recently serving on the North Pickering Health and Wellness Center Advisory Committee. He is very well known within this community, and as many of you know, he has been a longtime champion of keeping healthcare close to home for people living and working in Ajax Pickering communities. Dr. Stas cannot be with us tonight in person, but he's here in spirit and as well in video. Please turn your attention to the screens.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and friends of the Ajax and Pickering Hospital, and I believe that's all of you there tonight. I would like to thank you for this prestigious award that was bestowed on me today. I've been at Ajax since 1972, and over the last 46 years, we've had good times and times where were not so good. Since we've joined Lakeridge Health in November of 2016, we've become part of the Durham family. Now we have an opportunity, a golden opportunity, to develop an integrated healthcare system across all of Durham that will be the envy of the province and possibly of the whole world, where every hospital will have an integral role to play, and where every resident of Durham region will be able to receive all their services right here in Durham. To make this vision more of a reality, I am pledging $100,000 to the Ajax and Pickering Hospital so that in the future we'll be able to look after the growing population of West Durham. Thank you very much for the award, and good night.
What an extraordinary person. You can see why some people describe him as the backbone and official cheerleader of the Ajax Pickering Hospital. Generous with both time and money, he supports the hospital's float in the annual Ajax and Pickering Santa Claus parades. He was a cabinet member for the Image is Everything campaign that raised more than $5 million for the MRI. He is a current member of the Ajax Pickering Hospital Foundation Board of Directors. I understand he never says no when asked to meet on a one-on-one basis with donors, to be an event spokesman, to sign direct mail solicitation letters, or to make a formal gift request presentation. We're so lucky to have him as part of the Lakeridge Health team in the Ajax Pickering community. Our thanks and congratulations to Dr. Ramas Stas. Okay, no more Mr. Nice Guy. I would now like to turn our attention to the business portion of the meeting. Matt, as secretary to the meeting, can you please confirm that we have a quorum? Nope.
I did the switch. Okay, there we go. Is my wife here? As secretary of the meeting, and in accordance with section 2.3 of the administrative bylaws, notice of the annual general meeting was given. All members have received a voting card, and we have 100 members present, so we definitely have quorum.
Thank you, Matt. I'll now call to order the 2018 Annual General Meeting of Lakeridge Health. May I have a motion to approve the agenda? I have a mover with Faith Mariano, the Ajax Pickering Volunteers, and Sherry Robinson, who seconds the motion. All in favor? Any opposed? The motion carries. The minutes from the last annual general meeting are in the packages that you received as you registered. May I have a motion to approve the minutes of the annual general meeting held on the 15th of June, 2017? Joyce Marshall, thank you very much. And may I have a seconder? Helen Gulka seconds the motion from the Oshawa Volunteers. All those in favor? Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. Our next agenda item is the Treasurer's Report, and I will ask Alok Sethi to present the Treasurer's Report on behalf of the Board of Governors.
Thank you, Valentine. And just a forewarning, this will continue the dry part of the agenda. So I am pleased to advise members that our auditors, PricewaterhouseCoopers, PwC, has provided an unqualified audit opinion with no material weaknesses in financial internal controls. For the year ended March 31st, 2018, Lakeridge Health achieved a surplus of $5.9 million. The surplus was driven largely by one-time Ministry of Health and Long-Term Care funding and timing of our strategic initiatives. Overall revenues were $628.7 million, with approximately 81% of our funding coming from the Ministry of Health. Overall expenditures were $622.8 million, with compensation and benefits continuing to be our most significant cost, accounting for approximately 67% of expenditures. During the year, Lakeridge Health reduced its historic long-term debt from $43.5 million to $41.1 million. Lakeridge Health maintained its strong cash position, including liquid investments, while continuing to invest $39.5 million in building improvements and equipment. It is important to note that one-time surplus funds have largely been allocated to achieving our 10-year capital investment plan. My report completed, I move to accept the Treasurer's Report for the year ended March 31st, 2018. May I have a second to motion that? Marianne Saunders, thank you.
I'm just going to ask Alok now to introduce the appointment of auditors for the next year. Oh, sorry, I call the vote. Oh, yes, you do have an option there. All those in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Sorry to just skip over that democratic right.
I move that PricewaterhouseCoopers be appointed as auditors for the year ending March 31st, 2019, and that the Lakeridge Health Board of Trustees be authorized to set the remuneration. May I have a second, please? Ruth Spearing, thank you. And
all those in favor, please. Any opposed? Seeing none, the motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I now ask Donna Kingland, the chair of the nominating subcommittee, to come forward.
Thanks, Valentine. As a matter of process, we need to pass a motion to establish the number of elected board trustees for 2018-19. So, I move that the size of the Board of Trustees for 2018-19 will be 16 elected trustees. May I have a seconder? Thank you, Tom. You're up.
Any opposed? All in favor? We're getting good.
We're just trying to make it fun. It is now my pleasure to discuss the nominations to the Board of Trustees. In your packages, you will find a slate of nominees, which includes Dr. Julian Innocent of Newcastle and Stindal Lar of Curtis. On the recommendations of the nomination committee, the board recommends their appointment to the Board of Trustees. Would the two nominees please stand? Do you confirm your intent to stand for nomination to the Board of Trustees of Lakeridge Health? Seeing that they do, I move that Dr. Julian Innocent of Newcastle be elected for a 3-year term and that Stindar Law of Curtis be re-elected for a 3-year term as trustees of Lakeridge Health. May I have a seconder? Joyce Perrin, thank you.
Just as a minor point of order, I wanted to tell those of us assembled today that Stindar Law, as a member already, has indicated that he would be abstaining from this vote, and so that abstention should be recorded in the minutes. So, is there anyone opposed to the report of the nominating committee? All those in favor of the report? The motion carries. Welcome. Well, now we're going to hear from Sharon Cochran.
Thank you, Valentine. I'm very pleased to be able to introduce the tribute to our 3 departing board members, Thorsten Kozak, Donna Kinglin, and Valentine Lovekin. Each of these have been former chairs of the board, and I think this part is remarkable. They have a combined 27 years of service to the corporation and to the community it serves. 27 years. And to help us express our gratitude, we've turned to a few people that know Donna, Thorsten, and Valentine, and we have prepared a video to capture their remarkable service.
The amount of time and energy that somebody puts into being on the board. And with all 3 of them having been chairs, this is a tremendous commitment. And to do that for your community is really remarkable. Thorsten, perhaps more than any other board member, very passionate about consumer health care and always challenging us to think through the lens of our patients and our consumers. That contribution to our board has been amazing.
He also is very good at using anecdotes and examples from the industry from which he comes, which is the automotive industry.
The point of the group was to think of different ways to do things because it doesn't always happen on the first time around. Thorsten, for many years, in the cold months of January, sometimes February, used to like to get dressed up in different costumes. And then he'd like to jump into the frozen waters of Lake Scugog.
He had energy, he had joie de vivre. He was so much fun, and we really appreciated having a board of directors member jumping in the lake and as part of our polar plunge. It was very important to us.
Donna's support to me personally has been really remarkable. When I think about the times that I've been able to phone her and get a little bit of advice, she's very, very practical, always welcoming, and always there to lend a thought.
I think people are going to miss her and her influence on the board and her wealth of knowledge.
I was very new to the healthcare field, and I would start asking her a million questions about what does this mean? What are we doing here? And Donna was wonderful about explaining all of those things to me.
She's calm, but she's able to kind of provide just that extra little comment that kind of closes a discussion on an item.
She is one of the kinds of people who brings people along with her, and she listened and she listened. She was very good at building consensus around the board table.
And I commented to Valentine about how, you know, the more that I get to know our different communities, particularly now our different religions, that there's so much more in common than in difference. And Valentine's response to me was, we're all staring at the same truth, we just have poor vision. And then he said, good afternoon, and walked off. And that's Valentine, right? Is that for him, brilliance and insight and compassion and caring, these are just a day in the life of Valentine.
The main essence of Valentine is that caring, is that compassion.
So Valentine was the first board member who made governance fun. And I still have the button to prove it.
He would give a cute little pin, so all of us on the governance committee had this pin that reminded us of the importance of governance.
And that was Valentine's way of ensuring that we knew that governance added great value. And he always brought a little bit of levity to the room. In fact, he has a terrific dry sense of humor.
Hey Thorsten, I'd just like to say thank you. It was a pleasure working with you on the committee for the last 2 years. You made my experience a very positive one, and you always made me feel welcome.
Thank you, Donna, for all your time and commitment and everything you've done for the board. We're going to miss you, and it's been wonderful working with you for the last 8 years.
To Valentine, I would say thank you for your diligence and for all that you've done on behalf of the board and on behalf of the communities. The gift that you have given has been yourself, and I think that's probably the ultimate gift that you can offer.
To Donna, Thorsten, and Valentine, I wish you all the best in your future endeavors. I wish you great health, I wish you lots of fun and adventures, and I wish you lots of laughs. Thank you so much.
Donna, Thorsten, and Valentine, goodbye. Thank you so much for all of your work here at the board.
To Thorsten, Donna, and Valentine, thank you so much for all that you've done. You're irreplaceable, you've left a great legacy, and we're all the better for having you here.
I can grab the other one. Donna, if you could come forward, we do have a plaque for Donna and also a piece of art that is hung in one of the 5 hospitals. So I'd like to present this plaque to Donna. I've been reminded it goes to the Bowmanville Hospital. Okay. Thorsten, if you could come forward for your plaque and your piece of art, and just a huge thank you.
That's wonderful. That's beautiful. That's wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And Valentine, if you could come forward, please. We're missing the piece of art. It's coming. So again, oh.
That's beautiful.
Beautiful. Thank you.
That's a very nice place.
So a thank you to all 3 of the departing board members. It's bittersweet, I think, for all of us on the board. They've been just a great group to work with. So again, thank you.
Hold on a second. You didn't shake my hand, you didn't give me a kiss. Thank you very much for a wonderful tribute. None of us really ever dreamed of receiving a tribute like this when we first volunteered at Lakeridge Health. But I speak for all of us when I say your tremendous acknowledgement, and I mean that not just to you, Sharon, but to everyone in the management, everybody present today. Your tremendous acknowledgement is very gratifying, and we will cherish the previous minutes for many, many years to come. I think this is simply going to be the emotional part of the AGM, and as the outgoing board chair today, I would like to make a personal statement, one that does not speak on behalf of the other retiring trustees. There's one individual to whom I owe a special debt of gratitude, and who I have never formally recognized in my 2 years as board chair. My wife, Juji Lovekin. As anyone who is in a relationship ought to know, in matters of time management, volunteer time is always a proper subject of family discussion. My wife and I discussed the opportunity for me to serve as a trustee, and to be candid, I think I downplayed the time commitment. But she could see my enthusiasm and agreed that accessible public health care is a benchmark that all Canadians understand, value, and then support. With 4 children, we thought we knew something about health care, and we agreed that it was right to give back. I got permission to join the board. Only 10 months later, we learned something that changed our lives forever. My wife had a brain tumor, which was immediately removed. Later, we discovered that the surgery was only the first step in a journey that was longer, harder, and more final than we could possibly understand in 2010. And yet, Juji's support for me to serve as a Lakeridge trustee here never wavered. She never told me to scale back my commitment to Lakeridge Health, even though, I'll admit to you now, that's what I did in the spring of 2013. My wife died on the 30th of October 2013, and as all of us who are widowers or widows know, I carried on as best as I knew how. Lakeridge Health has been a key focus in my life in the last 5 years. Now I think that Lakeridge, in some respects, was one of my wife's last gifts to me. She understood me better than anyone has, and she knew that Lakeridge's mission would provide me the challenges and rewards I needed to fill me with a new purpose after she was gone. Whenever a patient arrives through our doors, there are 100 details that our staff assess: name, age, health, condition, history, prognosis, and so on. But ultimately, our goal is to recognize each patient as a person and to plan for a successful discharge. I feel that today, this is the date of my own discharge. Or to put it a little differently, I came here 9 years ago seeking to help the sick. I leave 9 years later, having been healed by working with you, the staff, the members, and the volunteers at Lakeridge Health. And I owe that opportunity to my beloved wife, whom I ask you to join me in thanking now. Back to business. On behalf of the Board of Trustees at Lakeridge Health, I thank all of you for your support in making our vision a reality. This concludes the annual general meeting of Lakeridge Health for the fiscal year 2017-18. May I have a motion to adjourn the meeting? Thorsten. Yeah. May I have a seconder to the motion? Donna. All those in favor, clap your hands. Is anyone opposed to the adjournment? The motion carries. Thank you, everyone, for attending tonight's event. We invite you to stay for a few minutes and to catch up with old friends or to make new ones. On behalf of the Lakeridge Health Board of Directors, we wish you a safe journey home and a very good night.